But Freo fans, I just have to ask something of you, okay? Please drop Flag Mantle. It doesn't work. There's only one team in the whole AFL that it works for, Flag Pies, okay? That's it. Today on the show, we talk AFL and NRL, football, NBA, boxing, and Joe Root reveals himself to be some sort of wizard. Well, look at this sorcery. That's magic. Shame he showed none of that magic in Australia. This is $0 given. Beginning with the AFL, and Melbourne have lost again. I can't help but notice, obviously, Melbourne won every game this year, and then a certain election happened, and now they're 0-2. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Turns out it's not easy after all anyway, but speaking of Melbourne, Max Gawn had himself a great game. He's never bounced the ball in his entire career. That is mad. Bailey Smith had a moment of madness himself as well when he just straight headbutted Zach Tui. Kind of, to be fair, Tui kind of leaned in first. I mean, no excuse. But I'm calling it now. Get ready for everyone's TikTok in Australia for the next 2 weeks to just be him in the club, because that's all he'll be doing the next 2 weekends. The Dockers got a very big win against Brisbane, so they are very much contenders. But Freo fans, I just have to ask something of you, okay? Please drop Flag Mantle. It doesn't work. There's only one team in the whole AFL that it works for, Flag Pies, okay? That's it. For the love of God, come up with something original, or get prepared to be called Flop Mantle when you get kicked out the finals. And speaking of the Magpies, Collingwood are back in the 8 after a very, very close win against Hawthorn. Jack Ginnivan nearly got his head taken off a couple of times, not that the umpires seem to care when it comes to Jack Ginnivan. Corey Wingard won the 2022 This Did Not Age Well award. And Scott Pendlebury in this game actually went over 9,000 career disposals, which is unbelievable. No one's ever got to 10,000, so do the math. If he averages 25 a game for the next 2 seasons, he should get there. I say he does it, and I reckon if he does do it, are we going to run on the field? Because this has never happened before. It would be pretty funny if 50,000 people just ran on the ground because, I don't know, some bloke had a handball. On to the NRL, and you know what time it is. State of Origin Game 1. The week is finally here. Get ready to have all your friends and family divided for about a month. We must give huge respect to Ray Warren, who is retiring after an unbelievable career. He literally is the voice of rugby league. That's Dennis Committee, Bruce McAvaney, and now Ray Warren gone. We have no more legends in the commentary booth. It's over. Now we're stuck with Michael Ennis in commentary. Oh no. The fastest man on the planet, Addo Carr's not going to be playing State of Origin, but he had himself a heck of a game this weekend. He may be the best player on his team, but his team is the worst team, so I suppose I can see how, but it's kind of brutal. Payne Haas obviously still copying it, and I gotta say, this little NRL tune absolutely hits the nail on the head. And at the halfway stage of the NRL season, we still have Penrith on top, we still have Melbourne in second, and the battle for the 8 definitely getting intense. On to football, but sadly, we have no club football to talk about for the next couple of months. That's all right, though. It means we get to focus on the internationals. Wales are going to the World Cup. The Ukraine fairy tale is over. It's a shame that they're not going, because it really would have highlighted what's going on over there even more so, but yeah, not to be. Wales do get through. You get no Eurovision love in football, mate. You got to earn it. Gareth Bale absolutely delivered on the big stage for Wales. Is he the best British player of all time? I genuinely am starting to think so. Not just for what he's done for Wales, but for what he's done for Real Madrid, Champions League wins. He's got 4 of them. But anyway, Australia in the under-23 tournament. Look at this from Qual. He went and did a scorpion kick. I don't know what's going on with Australians and scorpion kicks right now, but we seem to score one every 6 months. That is a Puskas nominee. I don't think it'll win, but it should definitely get nominated. Messi scored 5 goals in 1 game recently in a friendly, and only a few days before that, he provided 2 assists in the La Finalissima Trophy win at Wembley. Lionel Messi, when he heard Kylian Mbappe say football in South America is not as advanced as Europe, and I took that personally. Argentinian Lionel Messi is a different beast these days, and bloody Argentina now, they've gone 30-something games without a loss. Ronaldo scored 2 goals recently as well, and his mother actually was in the stands and she was crying when he scored. I hope she doesn't cry every time he scores, because if she does, poor woman's going to be bloody dehydrated. And of course, the NBA Finals are currently on at the moment. Game 1 went to the Celtics, but Game 2 ended up going to the Warriors, who bounced back nicely at home. It is 1-1. We go to Boston. Stephen Curry is playing fantastically at the moment, which is amazing to see. Will he get that Finals MVP? But Jason Tatum, after only dropping 12 or something points in Game 1, had a -36 plus minus in Game 2. Yeah, he put up nearly 30-something points, but he still was lacking regardless elsewhere on the floor. I don't want to say he's selling the finals, but it kind of feels a bit that way. Gary Payton II, after a couple of months out with injury, came back in a Game 2 and he got himself a standing ovation. And how about his dad, the glove Gary Payton, wearing a shirt of him being guarded by his own son? Now that is goals. Draymond Green was his old usual self. Have a look at the 1, 2, three screens, mate. You're like 10 feet away from Curry. Put him in the NFL as a linebacker or something. This is what really blows my mind, though. He's number 10 for total assists in the NBA Finals. How does that happen? He has more assists than Larry Bird and Kobe Bryant in NBA Finals, all right? That just shows you're just going there too much, man. Look at Magic Johnson with 584. That is literally, like, I think, unbreakable. NBA logo technology was not prepared for a player of the same color as the court. And of course, we had the big boxing fight in Melbourne between George Kambosos and Devin Haney. And look at the cheddar that these boys were taking home. $3 million or so for Devin Haney, $10 million for George Kambosos, just to stand there and get, what, jabbed to death. Yeah, it didn't go particularly well for him. He was barely able to land a punch. Haney just jabbed into absolute submission. He ends up getting the decision pretty comfortably. And look, it's one of those ones where I know obviously he's, you know, not the guy we should be cheering for, but I can't help but like him. I'm going to be honest. He comes here, hostile crowd. He gets slewed for like a week. He goes in there. He absolutely just walks it and then ends up being super humble and respectful afterward. I mean, what can't you like about that? There was a mini crisis when George Kambosos didn't actually make weight on the first go, but he ended up getting there the second time. It almost would have been better if he did miss weight. Because, yeah, he really didn't have a huge day. Chris Paul hits huge three to cut the lead to 42. Yeah, that's how it felt. Kambosos before the fight versus after the fight. Either way, it is time to move on to the Legend of the Week segment, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this is where I get you all to nominate a Legend of the Week over on Twitter every single weekend. So let's see who you nominated. We got a few shout outs for Messi, Argentina winning it all, Ronaldo, Cordia, another Welsh boxer. Wales had a great weekend, didn't they? My lord, he won. PK, oh my goodness, we got to talk about this. Barcelona centre back Gerard Piqué is married to Shakira, or should I say was married to Shakira. He cheated on Shakira with one of his own teammates' mum, and his teammate's only like 19 years old. This man is another level of a menace to society. Someone said Shakira has done more for football than Piqué ever will. Yeah, waka waka. Piqué's career. I don't know if I can give Legend of the Week behavior for cheating on your spouse, so we'll probably not do that. Al Horford, obviously playing well in the finals. Min Woo Lee. Yeah, we had a West Australian win the US Women's Open. So shout out Min Lee, superstar, but a lot of nods for Messi here. The man scored 5 goals in a game. People don't do that very often. And only that, he just won La Finalissima, like a title only a few days earlier as man of the match. You know what? Yeah. I think of the week, it's got to go to Lionel Messi for me. And I feel like I eventually had to give the GOAT of football one of these eventually. Leo Messi for Legend of the Week. That will do it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to look forward to next week, so be sure to stick around for it. I will see you next week. Catch you later, and bye-bye.